These are Grudge tokens. And the thing about Grudge tokens is they don't exist in this book anymore.
Really?
They do not exist. You do not need these tokens whatsoever. There's a different resource mechanic, but you don't need Grudge tokens. However, I personally need Grudge tokens. And that's because any of the rules I don't like in this book are going to get a Grudgeons.
Are you going to remove if you particularly like a rule?
No.
No, it stays there.
That grudge has to be solved.
That's the Votann way.
I will not relent on that grudge until it is personally and specifically fixed.
You are +1 to hit and wound somebody in Nottingham Rain.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the army rule has changed quite a lot. I mean, dramatically.
Entirely.
It's just a different rule now. It's called prioritized efficiency. So Leagues of Votann units from your army have one of two abilities, either hostile acquisition or fortified takeover. And which ability you have depends on the amount of yield points you currently have access to. So if you have a float of 7 or more, you're in Fortify Takeover. Anything less than that, you switch into Hostile Acquisition. Now, what do those mean? Hostile Acquisition, every time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit within range of 1 or more objective markers, add 1 to the hit roll. And you can reroll advance and charge rolls made for this unit.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in Fortify Takeover, you've taken over those objectives, and you just need to defend them. So you get +1 to hit while your model is within range of an objective now. And if an enemy attack targets you, if you are not a vehicle and the strength is higher than your toughness, you are -1 to be wounded.
So it's kind of like taking the Hearthguard debuff and just saying, all right, cool. The army, for all these infantry units and mounted units that we have, are going to be significantly more durable than otherwise.
Yes. Now, once you have switched into Fortify Takeover, your +1 to hit is much, much more in your control because you can drive a vehicle onto an objective.
Let's see how they're actually manufactured.
Yep. So at the end of each player's command phase, not just yours, you gain 1 yield point if you control 1 or more objective markers in your deployment zone. And then from the second battle round onward, you gain 1 additional yield point for each of the following conditions you satisfy. 1, you control 1 or more objective markers not within your deployment zone. 2, you control 2 or more objective markers not within your deployment zone. And 3, you control more objective markers than your opponent. This is actually super easy because you score them at the end of each player's command phase, not just yours. So let's say you're playing a standard game of 40k. You get 2 in the first battle round because you hold your deployment zone objective in the first turn and then in your opponent's turn. And then you walk onto objectives on the second, and you control 3. That's 3 points at the start of your opponent's turn. And then your opponent shoves you off the middle, but doesn't attack your expansion. Suddenly, now you're at 7, right? And now you have Fortify Takeover. And Fortify Takeover is much better than Hostile Acquisition. It's worth getting to.